So this is interesting. And you guys do what you want with this information, but if you've been with me for any length of time at all, you know I've done 2 videos on Comet Borisov. This is the new one that they just discovered in the last day of August this year. All of a sudden they looked up and there it was. It's coming in at 93,000 miles an hour. It's interstellar. And they said this is only the 2nd time an interstellar object has come through. The other one was Oumuamua. And that one was weird. There's all kinds of stuff about that one. This one here, they're actually getting to watch it come. Now, tomorrow, it will be at its perihelion. It will actually be crossing through the galactic plane where all our planets will be passing through there. I mentioned in the other videos that I did, could this be Jesus? Don't know. There's a lot of weird things about this thing, though. It's going outside of all predictions. It's very strange. It was illuminated a little further out than what they normally are. A lot about it that's different. It's going to be, when it passes through the galactic plane, its perihelion, it's going to be about the same distance towards the sun from us to Mars. It'll be that distance between us and the sun. And I actually started some other study on this a while back, but I didn't get to finish it because I got led into some other stuff. But I was watching a video by Jason A., the one he just put up, and this actually restarted this, and I found something that seems rather interesting. So, first thing I wanted to find out for is, where is it coming from? And I started out by having the word north up here. Did it come from the north? And yes, it is. It's coming from the north. Then I started looking at the pillars of creation, because there's mentions of pillars of the north and pillars of creation in the Bible. In the temple, there's 2 pillars. In 1 Kings 7:21, I think there's a reference in 2 Kings also. He erected the pillars at the portico of the temple. The pillar to the south he named Jachin, and the one to the north he named Boaz. And if you guys know, you've watched more than 2 or 3 of my videos, you know that the book of Ruth, the key character in there is Boaz, and he is a shadow and a type of Jesus Christ. And then Ruth was a Moabite, she was a Gentile, and they got married. And you see all the shadows that are in there of the church, the bride, the rapture, and all that kind of stuff. Here's a picture on it. North pillar, God's left hand, set up second. Strength only from him, Christ the body. And then Jachin is the south pillar, God's right hand, set up first. He that strengthens, Christ the head. So we see the referencing here. It's actually quite interesting, but there's more to this. I'm still doing some digging on this, but I wanted to share this. Maybe this will inspire you guys, give you something to do this evening to dig a little deeper into these things. So, Comet Borisov. It looks like it is coming from the pillars of creation. Now, if you've done any looking at that, these are the pillars of creation. And they can see them with the Hubble and the other telescope they have. But this is really pretty area here. Come to find out, it actually has been destroyed by a supernova shockwave. Let's see, right here. But a new study suggests the famous pillars of creation in the Eagle Nebula might have already been toppled long ago, and that was for what the Hubble Space Telescope actually captured. It was only a ghost image. Of course, we don't know. They invent this stuff sometimes. But what stood out to me was this right here. The pillars have already been destroyed by a shock wave. Astronomers think the supernova's shock wave knocked the pillars down about 6,000 years ago. But because the Eagle Nebula is located some 7,000 light years away, the majestic pillars will appear intact to observers on Earth for another 1,000 years or so. That was interesting to me. It was very interesting to me. Because, you know, once you start down one of these paths, it leads you all over the place. So in Isaiah 13:13, it says, no, we're not going to go with the NIV, we'll go with the New King James. Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth will move out of her place, in the wrath of the Lord of the hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger. We also have Mark 13:25. The stars of heaven will fall, and the powers in the heavens will be shaken. Job 26:11. Come on. The pillars of the heavens are shaken and are terrified at his rebuke. Now we know when we look at the description in Genesis, and there's a few other places that talk about this too, it talks about there being a heaven, first heaven, which is right above us here. We have a second heaven, which is space around here. And then the third heaven, where God is above that. Could that be the physical representation of that? Of course, on the other side of the veil, you'll see something totally different. Could that be it? I don't know. But that Job 26:11 is pretty interesting. And Comet Borisov is coming from there. Because now what they think is the shock wave is what sent it moving. See, pillars of creation destroyed by supernova. Of course, that refers to the Revelation 12 sign in this one, this link. They think that the Comet Borisov is the baby that came out of it, which ironically would be Jesus too. I haven't expected. Okay, so yeah, go do your own research on this. You may find something very interesting, but we're looking at something that could very well be describing what we're seeing here. I don't know, guys. Look, just like the other videos I've done the last couple of days, I'm just showing you what I'm seeing. I'm just showing you what I found. I am not making any claims at all because I can't. Because I don't know. I'm not smart enough for this. I don't know this stuff. But I can sure see when stuff matches things in the Bible. Because that sure jumps right off the pages and goes, hey, check it out. We literally see mentions of Jesus in this stuff. Here's one from 2 Kings. The two pillars, one sea, and the carts which Solomon had made for the house of the Lord, the bronze of all these articles was beyond measure. Those pillars were made out of bronze. Where's the scripture that talks about part of Jesus' glorified body looks like polished bronze or polished brass? So I don't know, guys. I don't know. But I know more and more of these revelations are jumping off the pages. More and more of these little things are like, wait a minute, I remember that from here. I remember that from there. Now, does it completely explain it? No. Does it directly relate to that, saying, yes, that is it? No, I can't make that conclusion. Just like in the video I did about Jesus and Christmas, showing the hints that were in the Bible that could tell us a frame of time. And I mean, all of y'all that saw it, except for the people that were hating on it, all y'all that actually watched the video, it blew y'all's mind at how closely it looked like it was talking about that. Nowhere in that video was I talking about Christmas, that we should celebrate Christmas, or that I was naming a date. Nowhere. But the same thing applies to this. I don't know if that's what this is, but when I first heard about Comet Borisov, the first thing that popped into my head was, is this Jesus coming? And it is very ironic that tomorrow it will be passing through the perihelion, which is our galactic plane, heading back out into space from there. And it says we're going to be taken up to meet him in the clouds of heaven. Where's the clouds of heaven? The only thing that we know of in our existence that's referred to as the clouds of heaven is the Milky Way. So that's rather interesting. But you know what? It's all subject to interpretation. Who knows? I'll tell you one thing though. This stuff stands out. This is the kind of stuff that really gets my attention. Because what it does is it says, hey, look here. There's something to be seen. I don't know if it applies to what we're looking for or what we're talking about, but there's something going on here. And if anything, that's what it tells us. There's something happening. There's something going on. So do your own research into this. You never know where it's going to lead you. It's definitely compelling. definitely compelling. No, that's not what I wanted. So these are saying these are images of it coming from the pillars of creation. And that's Comet Borisov. So who knows, guys? Who knows? I mean, we know what we're looking for. We know what we're watching for. I mean, let's not beat around the bush. We're watching for the Lord to return. We know the time is here. And we're paying attention to everything we see. And we know God uses His creation to serve His purposes. So we know that there's no surprise that He is using what He has created to talk to us, to show us what's happening, to give us signs. It's all over the Bible. And of course, there's going to be people that are going to say, hey, astronomy is a sin. No, astrology is a sin. Astrology is witchcraft and mysticism. Astronomy is learning about the stars. It's watching the stars. It's looking at the signs in the creation He made, and He told us to watch for them. So, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Anyway, guys, check this stuff out. You never know. Weird things going on. I can't remember. Maybe one of you guys remembers where it's at. I haven't been able to find it. But I thought I remember something somewhere saying He will come from the pillars of the north. I don't remember for sure. I got to find it, though. Let's see. Pillars of Eternity. So maybe it was in a book I read or something. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, y'all do your own search on that stuff. Do your own research into it. But I find this very compelling and very interesting. I mean, we've been watching stuff happening in the skies. All the fireballs. Go watch the Jason A's last video that he just did. And all the fireballs that are coming out of the sky now. It's been non-stop since the beginning of this year. Anyway, check it out, guys. See what you think. I find it interesting. We're seeing signs. Even if it's not Jesus, it's signs. It's things talking to us. All right. Love y'all. I will see you guys in the next video. Be blessed in Jesus' name.